Hello, welcome. My name is Astrid. I'm a psychic oracle and mentor, and this is the Sacred Gray. Welcome. We are going to do a reading for Taurus North Node or your North Node in your second house. Okay, so if you have your North Node in Taurus, if you have your North Node located in your second house, this reading may be for you, right? Probably. There will be a link below. If you are not sure of your North Node placement, then you can generate your birth chart and find it. Okay. So I'm just shuffling some cards here. Okay. One thing that I do, okay, is I like to shuffle, normal, but then, and you might see me do this here and there, is I'll take a few cards out and I'll flip them upside down. Now, all of my cards are upright. Okay, when I shuffle, and I reset the deck, so I make sure that all of my cards are upright. And then when I flip cards, I know that like if those cards come out, and I do this intuitively, right? Like I try to see what cards are glowing or vibrating, right? Excuse me. And then I know that if a reversed card comes out, then it's really important. And there's no like rhyme or reason to this. I don't flip over a certain number of cards or anything like that. I just flip over whatever. There's no unit of measure that is correct or incorrect. We just kind of do what we feel around here. All right. Now we're going to jump right in here. Taurus North Node or North Node in your second house. I think I want to flip one more over just for scuzz, just for the vibes, All right, let's get right into it. If you're new here, please be sure to subscribe, drop a like, drop a comment. Any little bit helps. Those are free ways to support a growing channel. Thank you so much. Let's see, who am I talking to? How Taurus of you. All right. Taurus North Node. It seems like you're kind of in the right place here. Tell me a little bit more about who I'm talking to here. Wow. Okay. So here we've got someone who is perceived by the people around them as someone who I'm hearing like unshakable abundance, like someone who has a kind of stability that maybe people have tried to kind of make you sway, and it hasn't worked. Let's see a bit about your path right now. Where is this viewer? You've got to be kidding me. Well, it seems like you're in a really good place. Let's get one more about your path, your current path. Wow. This is, okay. I need to take a page out of your book, Taurus North Node or North Node in second house. This is, what are you, like, this is like a I'll have what she's having kind of a moment. You guys ever seen When Harry Met Sally? All right, let's see. What is crossing Taurus, if anything, right now? What is crossing Taurus on their current path? Ace of Swords. Or Taurus North Node. I'll clarify. What is crossing our viewer on their path? Okay. So your current challenge, from what I can see here, is something to do with the manner in which you communicate. Maybe I'm hearing too brash. I'm hearing too like harsh in a way. And there's a part of you, from what I can tell, that says like, I have all of this, like, how blessed you are, I suppose. How fortunate you are. I'm hearing like, this is weird. It's what you've had to do to survive, right? So there's a level of, this is like getting serious. Hang on. Spirit's like getting real with me. There's a level of acknowledgement of like, I know what I have and I know where I've been. Like it almost feels like this influx of blessings has been, and I'm picking up on this is okay. So it's like this influx of blessings has been maybe something new. Can I get an indication of Taurus's this viewer's past, kind of like where they're coming from? Yeah, okay. So the path work that led you to this beautiful position that you're in and the manner in which you're perceived, I can see very clearly that maybe these folks that you're clinking glasses with maybe they've seen you through this path of not always having it all, not always having these 9 cups full, right? Maybe they've seen you in different areas of your life where things were not going so well, but then we have this all of a sudden here, and I can't help but notice that the bottom of the deck is the 5 of Wands. There's all of a sudden this combativeness when I inquire with spirit about what is crossing you. There's something that you're angry about that maybe you're grappling with here. Can I get some more clarity on this, spirit? The Magician. Beautiful. I love that for you. Let's get. And the King of Swords. Yeah. So there is a kind of, anytime I see the King of Swords, the word that comes to mind is rigidity. And it doesn't really matter the manner in which it comes out. Every time I see this card, I feel as if there is an element of this character that has to be balanced with like a smoothing over, I don't know why that is, but I can see here that you, and what I actually am hearing is that you might be debating who gets what from what you've gained, right? There might be a point of acknowledgement of like, not everyone was, instrumental in my growth here. Some of these folks really held me back. So kind of how do I split up the pie is I think where this is coming in. And there's something here about, and I'm getting like weird like frequencies, and like all of a sudden I can hear, you ever like speak and you can hear like your sinuses in your ears? Like all of a sudden there's this very like kind of sharp bodily awareness that I have. Can I get more about our collective Taurus North Node or second house? What do they need to know about that which is crossing them on the path right now? Okay. Okay. Yeah, so the Devil, the Knight of Pentacles, and the 7 of Swords here. I wonder about the stories that you're telling yourself right now about the people that are around you. There seems to be, anytime the 7 of Swords come up, I wonder about, trustworthiness, but I do feel like you are really in your head in this moment about who you can trust and who is deserving of your attention at this time. That is an understandable place to be when you're someone who seems to have received perhaps a windfall of fortune, be it monetary or just like good luck. I can tell, I'm hearing that like someone's business, like all of a sudden received a bunch of recognition or success. Someone came up on an inheritance or something similar in this way. Just that Wheel of Fortune kind of seemed to turn on its own. I don't see that you really had to take much of a leap here. Some of you, I think, I'm hearing the word strenuous. So I think that some of you did go through quite a good amount of stress prior to receiving this. Can I get more about that? Yeah. So again, like it's not like, the manner in which you received this, wealth maybe came with ease, but what came before it, there's a part of you that I think might be feeling like I deserve this and I don't necessarily feel like I should be sharing it, or I don't necessarily, and I think that there are also people around you who might feel entitled, right? So what are the ways in which you are meant to share this wealth or this inheritance, this abundance that you now have, that's balanced, right? So I almost feel as if, and so my readings can sometimes shoot between the eyes. So, this might be one of those moments for you. I almost feel as if there's something here about the story that you're telling yourself not entirely holding all of the truth in the world. There might be something here about like it might serve you to reframe the story that you were telling yourself around the manner in which you received this wealth, okay, or this fortune all of a sudden, this good fortune. I really feel this need to encourage humility in you. And I'm going to get a little bit more here. What is some wisdom that Spirit has for our viewer at this time? The Nine of Wands. We'll get a little bit more. Oh. So a word of wisdom is, full body chills. Listen, okay. This Five of Pentacles energy, I feel for you that this was very real for you. Like, this wasn't just, and yeah, you really did have like kind of a rise from the ashes arc here, where I think some of you went through divorce, some of you experienced great hardship, where you did feel as if maybe you were never going to come out of the cold, right? It was intense for a while. And so all of a sudden there's this part of you that, and so when I kind of started to say like shoots between the eyes, this might be one of those moments, is the pride that you have in where you are right now may do well with some tempering. It's not to say that, you're wrong in what it is that you are feeling or experiencing in response to what it is that you have experienced in your life. However, and like in recent like months to years, right? However, I think that Spirit is asking you to be tempered as not to forfeit, like everything that you're experiencing internally is valid regarding your story and your character arc. However, tempering it is not a form of invalidation. It is rather a manner in which you can receive more, I suppose. Yeah. So then we have the Four of Swords. Like, what I often share with my clients is that humility is our closest, like it is one of the closest ways, it is the closest proximity to God is via humility, right? That is how we get closest to God, or the best way to, I'm sorry, words are just not wording today. It brings us the closest to God's own mannerisms, I suppose, is what I am trying to say. So there is something here about like, slow down, relax. You don't need to necessarily share anything that you have. I think also there may be some illusion to this experience that you're having of needing to share it. Okay. There is something here about you might be cutting people off needlessly. I almost feel that you are cutting people, like all of a sudden you're incredibly defensive of what you have. The Moon in reverse. Yeah. There's something here that you are perhaps misconstruing. This isn't a time where you need to leave everything behind, right? It is safe to take with you that which would stand the test of time, right? Like, as you build your home on new land, that which, was with you in the previous land, you don't have to leave it all there, right? Like, some folks can come with you. I understand that this story that you have is deeply ingrained in your character and who you have become at this point. However, it doesn't serve you to, I suppose, like, throw the baby out with the bathwater is the phrase that would kind of closest resemble what it is that I'm trying to portray here. And I think that you know exactly what I'm talking about as well. Let's get some, the Sun and the Hierophant. I can tell that you take great joy in what is, I'm hearing the word standard, and clean. There's something about like doing things the quote unquote right way that's really satisfying for you. However, I do think that part of what has happened on this journey is some things were not done in the right way. I think that maybe it could be also, depending on where you're at in your journey, that some of these folks that you left behind were actually business partners or something like this. So moving into this new chapter, perhaps there's a part, I'm hearing the word remorse. Yeah, perhaps there's a part of you that feels grief, is what I was going to say, for the chapter that has closed, and maybe grief over, I don't know, a manner in which you acted. I'm hearing what you brought to the table. Maybe you are, I feel as if some of you are being kind of hard on yourselves about how you carried yourself, or how you acted, or that you could have brought more to a table, but it felt as if you were doing the very best that you could. And I feel this urge to remind you that you were enough the whole time. Like, you didn't have to overcompensate, right? I think that with the Lovers coming out at this time and in this way, there's something here about whoever it was that you felt like you didn't show up for enough in closing this past chapter, and whatever grief you're experiencing here, and feeling like maybe you didn't show up as best you could in the past. And now I can see you really in your head about showing up as best you can now, but struggling with an element of pride here. The people around you who are meant to come with you, they do not require anything of you. So perhaps this is the message, because I am hearing Spirit kind of tell me to like keep this a shorter one. I think that the real message here for you is that those who are meant to come with you they're not asking you for anything. So really take a look around and see who is actually asking you for a piece of whatever it is that you have. Because I do believe that without a kind of like rest and communion with your higher power, this illusion is going to get stronger and stronger and louder and louder. So there's a moment that Spirit is asking you to take where you can truly look at what is going on around you and say, that is not entirely true, and that feels good, that feels right. You know, I do think that because you have experienced so much hardship, and I'm feeling this like softening, it's like tenderized meat, you know, that I'm feeling right now. There's this part of you that is incredibly tender and is incredibly soft, that Spirit is asking you, and it's not just ancestors. I'm sorry, it's not just Spirit. I did feel like 3 ancestors come in all of a sudden. So whoever is viewing this, which I don't have a ton of viewers at this very moment, so if you're seeing this, please let me know if this is resonating for you. There's something about like full body chills, like for like a minute now. There's something about the way that you are looking at things through the lens of someone who has kind of been hardened, but like, baby, you are not a hardened soul, right? There is a part of you that is softer, that your ancestors, your team is asking you to draw out so that you can be more giving only to those who are truly entitled and deserving of it, and feel good about doing so, right? I don't think that there's anyone in your sphere who's really trying to take advantage of you. And I want to acknowledge this is just kind of our final card for this reading, because Spirit is really asking me to wrap it up for you, which is so interesting. That doesn't happen very often. The 7 of cards at the bottom of the deck, I want you to give yourself grace, as it does seem like this was a traumatic or traumatizing chapter in your life, and you do seem to feel some reluctance in admitting that to yourself. I do think, though, that the sooner that you admit that to yourself, the stronger you will be able to put forth something that is genuine and feels good in your heart. Because the only way that this would be an issue is if you have been taken advantage of, and you have felt like you've wasted on people who, you know, took advantage, right? Who you've been taken for granted before. So this is a moment where you can say, hey, I'm overwhelmed, and that's okay. I've been through a lot. Because if no one else is saying that to you, yeah, you've been through a lot, and it's okay to feel overwhelmed after what you have experienced, right? Like, that's understandable. So take some time in this communion, and it doesn't have to be like, you don't have to like go to church, my guy. Just like lay down for a nap without your phone. You know what I mean? Like, just like put on like, you know, binaural beats or something, like just chill and allow yourself to kind of soften just in solitude, things will start to become less overwhelming. Okay. And I'm hearing it's a guarantee, right? So there's a lot of pressure on you right now, which means that you need to buck, right? You need to let go of that pressure because this isn't going to get you anywhere. You need to slow down when life is asking you to speed up. Okay, that's where you're at right now. Okay, thank you so much. I hope that this was helpful. And please be sure to subscribe. If you got something from this, please leave a comment. I've got a ton of information down in the description, and I wish you the best. Thank you.